Welcome to Overwatch, and welcome to some gameplay and chill. This is going to be how I'm going to be doing it going forward, just because we're done with all the brawls for now. So we're done with all the brawls. There was no boys allowed brawl. Sorry, no girls allowed brawl. It seems slightly sexist, Blizzard. Everyone get onto their case for that little nugget of drama. But anyway, what this is going to be, it's going to be a 4 ranked match, and I'm going to try and do one of these a day. Try and find what match I like, and then comment over it. Just going through my mindset when playing, why we won, why we lost, what I did well, what I didn't do well, that kind of thing. Comment on it, provide commentary, but here we're going to have a nice little match. This is just at the beginning of the advanced tier, so we're just out of Challenger, the welcoming tier, and just starting to work my way through advanced now, slowly but surely. And we have an interesting little team. We have a good lineup, actually. We do have a Bastion. Now, I'm always on the fence when playing with a Bastion, but when you have a Bastion on your team, you've got to play around them. Now, on Hollywood, I like to, when playing Mercy at least, I like to try and find, who's going to be spamming, and you want to find around this first archway, especially with the Bastion, especially with the immobile Bastion. You want to be really careful in using the Bastion to the maximum effect. If you don't play around him, there's no point in having him. So I'm just going to use, some damage up on this Pharah, but I'm never going to push past this archway, and the moment they start threatening it, I'm going back to the Bastion because he's in a nice spot that I can jump to, get back to him, put damage up on him, provide that massive damage boost, and we can tear through a Reinhardt shield in no time at all. And now I'm just looking for people to spot heal, because like I said in the easy to learn is, and it didn't spend too long on what to do in a team fight, and that was a mistake by me. I drifted up to the Pharah, but I drifted in front of Reinhardt's shield. I should have pulled back a little bit, stayed behind the barrier. Luckily, it doesn't matter too much, I think, as my team is relatively stable and we still have the Bastion. They do break down the Reinhardt shield, but we can reposition, and they're so afraid of pushing in, it's not going to be too big of a deal. But I'm just topping people off, looking for where their source of damage is. It's mostly going to be Bastion, Pharah, and the Junkrat, if I can reach him. But here, I'm running back, I can see everyone's sort of on half health, so my priority now is simply, let's pick everyone back up, get my ultimate good and ready to go, make sure that no one's dying. So for example, that Pharah was in that one-shot range that I don't like them to be in. Otherwise, picking people up, make sure I'm positioning. There's a Tracer back there, so I want to avoid going back there, but I want to help anyone who's going back there to try and fight that. We do see that, they come in. I'm just going to top people off, make sure that Bastion can do his job, provide some damage onto the Bastion. My thought there was simply, if they try and push in and there's a damage amp Bastion, they can't push in anymore, so it stops the fight, buys me time to heal everyone back up, forces them back into a bad position. Here I should have cancelled my dash a little bit earlier. I'm still getting used to that mechanic of being able to cancel the dash mid-fight and stop midway there. But again, just back onto the Pharah, providing damage into this barrier where I'm trying to find somewhere safe. I do have my ult, so my priority now is just to survive, basically. I want to find where the Bastion is, try and get some damage up on him. Unfortunately, the Pharah does do a good job in picking me off. Luckily, they're focusing so hard on killing me that the rest of my team can fire off their ultimates, restabilize on the point, excuse me, that's my dinner repeating on me. Do manage to take the point back, just fight the way out of this little tight corner with me dead. Luckily, we only lose 1 or 2 people because we have our ultimates build up, because we haven't needed them aggressively. We've just been waiting for them to sort of come in, and Reinhardt's been doing such a good job. And right now, if any of them die, I can pick them back up. And luckily, Reinhardt's nice and safe. I can just pick him all the way back up to top. No one even needs rezzing at this point. Otherwise, I would be happy to dump a res at this point, for example, because I could just build it back up off the back of Reinhardt. But here I'm just trying to get everyone topped off before the next fight, and then damage amp Bastion from this safe point back here. I do need to be a bit careful. You can see me stepping out in front of this car, and also I can see the Tracer in the back, and this is where I want to be super careful. I want to provide health to this Pharah, but I don't want to back off immediately, because if I was playing Tracer and I look at that Bastion Reinhardt, I want to put a bomb right there. So I do not want to be stood next to that. I want to be nice and safe, and again, trying to support people dealing with the Tracer in the back, because if that Tracer gets free reign, we're in a lot of trouble. Nan's in a good position to do some damage on Reinhardt, jump over to him, provide amp to him, then swap back to the Pharah to deal some damage on the Zarya, trying to push into the front. And you can see I'm bouncing between where I feel that the battle needs me most, as well as picking up people from that low hit point range. Here, Pharah does a silly thing, in my opinion. She jumps off towards far away from me, basically makes it hard for me to do what I want. Just going to top the Reinhardt off, then go back top off the Pharah, because I just want to keep everyone nice and specific. And here I spot that Reinhardt's gone out of position and there's a Hanzo above him, so if I damage out the Hanzo lands a headshot, it's really nasty. It almost get behind the Reinhardt barrier. It would have been nice if he just took 1 or 2 steps forward to put the barrier so it overlaps with the wall. That would have covered me, but alas, didn't happen. Pharah can actually break through that anyway, so it's a little bit risky, but again, it's a Pharah ult for me. That's fine, because the rest of the team weren't there to capitalize on it, and this is where they really start to struggle. They kill me, but then don't have anything coming off the back of it, and what they need is something like, I need to die and Bastion needs to die, and once that happens, they're in a really good position. because that's not happening here, like this, in this case, you know, Farah is dead, I just pick her up because I can see that, you know, there's only a small amount of time left and there's enough healing for me. Here we get caught in the Topelstein, we have the Reinhardt barrier, so I'm not going to heal anyone, I'm just going to damage amp Bastion. Make it so if they try and capitalize off the back of that, Bastion's going to kill them, because Bastion does a ridiculous amount of damage here. 76 does a good job of getting behind everyone. Bastion's the only person I can damage amp to deal damage as long as Reinhardt keeps his shield up. Nice and easy for me, good, clean, easy decision making. And again, they never get that momentum. They've got to deal with the Bastion and me, because if they don't kill me, I'm just going to pick Bastion back up and then amp him. Otherwise, I can just stand here. Now 30 seconds remaining, so they're going to try and push through the choke. And as long as I'm here, it's perfectly fine. Bastion could just deal a million damage. I mean, watch Reinhardt's barrier. It just explodes. Bastion does stupid amounts of damage with the damage up. It's insane how powerful his burst is. I try and get to this far, but then think, no, she's dead. Just let it go. Let it go. Reinhardt's already taunting. Hanzo's poking away. I'm just going to make sure he can do that nice and safely. The moment someone turns this corner, I'm turning around, going right back up towards where Bastion is. Because that's one thing that's nice about having a Bastion when you're playing as Mercy, is you can always get to the Bastion if you know where he is. Otherwise, I'm just going to cut ahead to the next match. It's quite a fun one. And as you can see, by the way, at the end of the game, like the music cues are a bit off, but this is just temporary because people were leaving, basically, when it did the whole play of the game rotation. But yeah. Anyway, let's get to the next match. I'm going to jump ahead and skip the team building time a little bit. Until it has about 30 seconds until the spawn comes out. And welcome to the next match. I think I might edit in, alright, you can see it there, the team lineup we got is actually really, really solid. I was really happy with what they picked. So for just posterity's sake, we have a Reinhardt, Lucio, Supportin 76, Hanzo, Zarya, and did I list everyone? No, and McCree. This is a really good team because we don't have any sort of what I would call outliers. Like, everyone can work behind the Reinhardt shield, everyone can work with Zarya, and they're all going to want to stick tight together, which means it works really well with Lucio. I decided to play Lucio because I'm in a supporting mood when I played this, and Lucio felt like the most impact I could have on the attacking team. So we can see, like, they start with some spam, they start with some light spam, and we push around this corner, and then, yeah, we meet the mounted gun position, but their mounted gun position runs into a slight problem. First and foremost, this area really badly overextends, like, she just did not need to do that. This Roadhog does a good bit of damage, but the thing with Roadhog and Lucio is that Lucio, if he's healing, will generally actually be able to get away from the Roadhog damage. This is actually quite nice. The McCree swaps to a Widow as well. Widowmaker into Roadhog, Zarya, and Bastion is actually a pretty good pick. Zarya gets very sort of eager, tries to push around the corner. Does get a bit blind to it. I try and help the Reinhardt, but that's a really good hook by Roadhog, by the way. Just an amazing thing that saved this guy's life. He does manage to sort of do a lot of damage as well, get his ultimate off. Bastion ultimate is incredibly powerful, so I just decided, sod it, I'm just going to go around the back. Because this is a team that relies on fighting with a fixed position, so if I run around the back, I can just be a massive pain in the ass in their flank, and I have an easy escape route up here. It's like, hello team, goodbye team, push off. And this is one reason why I like playing Lucio. Lucio has a lot of style to him. Now I have my ult up and ready to go. The problem is, until we make a really concerted push, that ult's not going to be too useful. And especially with the Bastion there, it actually makes it very difficult for us to begin at a full push. But I see that Reinhardt's going to jump out, so I'm just going to give him the barrier. He whiffs the charge, however. If he landed that charge, it would have been amazing. But otherwise, I'm going to try and help him in here, get some free damage onto the Roadhog before pulling back to the rest of the team. Unfortunately, we're not doing a good job of killing the Mercy. We do manage to take out the Farah though, and everyone else is dropping down. They've already used the res, so it looked pretty good for us. And because Bastion can't get set up, it's actually really dangerous for them. Hanzo is also really good against Roadhog. It's just a very easy way for him to build up his ultimate nice and quickly. Hanzo does not need much damage to actually get his Dragon Strike up and running. We also have a Widowmaker who can just get free vision constantly. Trying to heal up the Hanzo, he does unfortunately go down, but it's just free damage onto the Roadhog. We do see Mercy like peeking over the top, but she's not going to quite get there. As long as I stay behind this barrier, I'm trying to like bait him into shooting, but I do take a bit of a risk jumping to one side. Unfortunately, don't get him, and I notice, hey, Mercy's back here. I try and knock her back so she can't dash forward, but she does just dash right through me, which is a little bit obnoxious. But still, we've got 3 people on the point, and they're not doing a good job of contesting. Speed boost to get out of the dragon, nice and fast. Then trying to get damage on Mercy, but Mercy in the air is a little bit hard to hit. Otherwise, I'm just going to focus on healing. Try and pick off this Farah, do land some hits. And again, like, Reinhardt's busy dealing with that, so I'm just going to try and hunt down this Mercy and try and pick her off, because you've got to kill the Mercy first. If you don't kill the Mercy first, she's just going to pick people back up, and it's kind of pointless. Grab the health, get ready to go for the streets section of the map. Now this is where it can start to get very tricky. If the enemy team has a team that's very good at taking high ground, you can really struggle here, you can really stall out here. Luckily, they don't have a team that's very good at that, and they don't change into one that's very good at that. I think we would have really struggled if the Pharah, for example, and the Mercy were really stomping. Luckily we have a Soldier 76 who's very, very good at killing Pharahs, and we have a Widowmaker very good at killing Pharah. But if she played it safe, and if they had like a Junkrat as well, just firing down into us, we would have had so much trouble with the slow rolling strategy that we're going with. The Zarya runs in. This is a big mistake by Zarya. Like, Zarya on her own is so much weaker than Zarya with a partner. Zarya with a partner means that she can like barrier someone and then step back and let the barriered person tank a little bit, and then use her own barrier and you sort of just overlap it. Otherwise, I'm just going to top up this Widowmaker. This is always annoys me when people say heal me. Where to a Lucio, it's like, yeah, I've got to wait for my barrier. Now here, I know that Roadhog's going for this health, so I just want to deny him that. And again, he's shot off his ward, so he can't finish me off, so I can just run away. He's all the way over there, stuck, not doing much, not able to do anything really, so we just roll straight through the streets, and now we're going on to that final stretch where we're going to be nice and strong. Roadhog is still stuck back behind the team, not really causing a big issue, just being a big fat punching bag, letting me build up my ult nice and freely. And it lets me do this, which means the Zarya ultimate gets pretty hard countered, and it means we get our own out. This is actually a nice ult by Pharah. The Zarya also does a really good job, by the way, of putting the barrier on Mercy. That means if Mercy did her ultimate, she could have used it there to pick the Pharah back up. Luckily, it sort of went, you know, Pharah died, then Mercy, then Roadhog, so it's not too bad if they did get a heal. Otherwise, I can just pick people all the way back up. Everyone's sticking together again. Everyone's sort of staying in range of my heals to work, so I can just keep everyone topped up nicely. It's building up my ultimate super fast, making my healing ridiculously efficient. And you notice with Lucio, like, I'm very rarely passive, and I don't like staying on heal for too long. I do like swapping to speed boost. I'll generally use it to reposition just to give someone healing a little bit faster, and I'll generally use it to try and pick people, or try and do some damage with the speed boost using the evasiveness rather than the passive healing, to keep myself alive. And again, just going to try and get this Roadhog. Unfortunately, the Earth Shadow does whiff, but we do get a lot of damage onto Roadhog. Almost got my ultimate ready to go, but unfortunately, there's a Pharah behind me who does shoot a rocket into my bum and take me down. Luckily, the team is in a really good position here. We have a Zarya ult on the go as well, so yeah, this is easy days for Reinhardt. Reinhardt can just swing away into that Zarya ult and get kills for days, and that's it. A clean win from us. Now, why did we win? Why did they lose? I think they lost because they adapted badly to what our team was doing. Our team was a very slow rolling, very just stick together and push and push and push and push and push, and that's what we were doing really well. If they had run a Junkrat, that would have been great, for example. If they had run, I think actually just Junkrat alone would have made a huge difference. I would also suggest changing off the Hog. Roadhog's not going to do much when you have a Zarya and a Reinhardt that are just acting as this big front line. Roadhog's not going to get many kills, he doesn't have many things to pick off there, so it's not going to be too useful aside from as a big punching bag. If they swapped onto a Winston, it might have been better, and I'm so tempted to vote for myself, but no, I'll give it to the Zarya. 2 people did vote for me very kindly. Anyway, thanks for watching to the end. I have been Josh, as one voice amongst many. There's been some post-match commentary, breaking down my own play more than anything, and my own mindset and my own decision-making. This was a support game. I do actually know that most people preferred watching DPS games, but hopefully the Lucio game had enough going on in it, enough action that people enjoyed it. I will play some Pharah, some Reaper, maybe some Widow as well if I get the chance in some ranked matches in the coming days. But yeah, toodles.